Imagine working for 40 years, doing everything people told you to do, working hard, saving every month, avoiding debt, making all the responsible decisions, and still never becoming wealthy. And the worst part? Most people never realize why. That happens to millions of people, not because they're lazy, not because they don't earn enough, but because they were taught one financial lesson without ever learning the second one. You've heard this your entire life. Save your money. It's not bad advice. It's just incomplete. Saving protects your money. Investing builds your wealth. And confusing those two ideas could quietly cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars during your lifetime. Imagine hiring a security guard and expecting him to build your company. That would be ridiculous. His job is protection, not growth. Your savings account works exactly the same way. Its job is to protect your money, not multiply it. Yet millions of people expect their savings account to create wealth. And after 30 or 40 years, they're shocked when it doesn't. Today, I'm going to show you why. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again. Imagine you're 25 years old. You finally land a good job. Your first real paycheck hits your bank account. Immediately, the advice starts coming. Be careful. Don't spend too much. Save every dollar you can. So you do exactly that. Every month, you transfer $500 into your savings account. Watching that number grow feels amazing. It feels responsible. It feels mature. It feels safe. 10 years later, your savings account has grown. But something else has happened that almost nobody notices. The world kept moving. Your money didn't. Every year, prices quietly climbed. Homes became more expensive. Stocks became more expensive. Everything around you increased in value, except the cash sitting in your account. Your bank balance may have stayed the same, or even grown, but what your money could actually buy slowly shrank. That's inflation. It doesn't knock on your door. It doesn't send you an email. It slowly reduces your purchasing power 1 year at a time, which means doing nothing with your money isn't really doing nothing. It's making a decision, a very expensive one. Let me ask you something. If you hired an employee, paid him every month, and every single day he just sat in a chair doing absolutely nothing, how long would you keep him? Probably a week, maybe less. You'd fire him immediately. So why do people do exactly that with their money? They work incredibly hard to earn it. Then they lock it away and expect it to somehow create wealth. Money works exactly the same way. Leave it sitting still long enough, and it quietly falls behind. Let's compare two people, same age, same salary, same intelligence, same discipline. Every month, both set aside $500. The first person saves it. The second invests it into a simple, low-cost S&P 500 index fund. No stock picking, no trading, no gambling, just consistency. 30 years later, the saver has protected his money. The investor has multiplied it. One decision, one habit, completely different future. Cash gives you stability. Assets create wealth. One helps you survive today. The other helps you become free tomorrow. And wealthy people understand this better than almost anyone. They don't ask, how much money do I have? They ask, what is my money doing today? Is it building businesses, owning real estate, generating dividends, growing while I sleep? Every dollar has only two choices. It either sits still or goes to work. Here's something that completely changed the way I think about money. Most people believe the goal is to earn more. Wealthy people know the goal is to own more. There's a huge difference. Imagine two neighbors. The first earns $200,000 a year. The second earns $80,000. Most people would assume the first person is richer. But that's not always true. The high earner leases a luxury car, lives in a bigger house, takes expensive vacations. Everything looks successful. But every dollar that comes in immediately goes back out. The second person drives the same car for years, lives below his means, and every month quietly buys assets. Stocks, index funds, real estate. 10 years later, the first person still needs his next paycheck. The second person owns assets that generate income even while he sleeps. That's why income can make you look rich, but assets make you become rich. Your paycheck pays today's bills. Your assets pay for tomorrow's freedom. Once you understand that, you stop asking, how can I make more money? Instead, you start asking, what can I buy today that will pay me tomorrow? That single question can completely change your financial life. Think about the richest people you know. Not influencers, not celebrities, real wealthy people. What do they own? Businesses, real estate, Stocks, intellectual property, they're not sitting on mountains of cash. They're sitting on assets that produce cash. That's a completely different game. Here's the trap. You get a raise, a bigger apartment, a nicer car, a more expensive phone. Vacations become a little fancier. Without realizing it, every extra dollar you earn gets matched by another dollar you spend. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it's one of the biggest reasons high-income people stay broke. Because making more money doesn't automatically make you wealthier. If your spending grows as fast as your income, your financial life never actually changes. You simply upgrade your lifestyle instead of upgrading your future. Companies understand this perfectly. The moment your salary increases, someone is waiting to sell you something more expensive. Every advertisement tells the same story. You deserve this. Maybe you do. But every dollar spent today is a dollar that can never become an asset tomorrow. Real wealth rarely looks impressive. At least, not at first. It looks like patience, consistency, discipline. In fact, real wealth is often invisible. It's the investor driving a 5-year-old car, the business owner living below his means, quietly investing every month without posting about it online. Because their goal isn't attention, their goal is freedom. Compounding is one of the few forces in life that rewards patience more than talent. Your money earns money. Then that money earns money. Then the money that money earned earns even more money. At first, almost nothing happens. It feels slow. Sometimes it even feels pointless. But then the curve begins to bend upward. Small gains become bigger gains, and those gains begin creating gains of their own. That's when people say, wow, he got lucky. No, he got consistent. The problem is, most people quit right before compounding becomes powerful. We naturally overestimate what can happen in 1 year and underestimate what can happen in 20. Building wealth rarely feels exciting in the beginning. It feels repetitive, almost boring. But boring is often incredibly profitable. Imagine planting a tiny tree. For years, it barely grows. You water it, protect it, wonder if it's even worth the effort. Then one day, its roots become so strong that the growth becomes impossible to ignore. Money works the same way. The invisible years are the price you pay for the visible years everyone admires. At this point, you might be thinking, so should I stop saving money? Absolutely not. That's not the lesson. Saving money is incredibly important, just not for the reason most people think. Savings are not supposed to make you rich. They're supposed to make you secure. Your emergency fund is your financial seatbelt. Lose your job, your car breaks down, a medical emergency, unexpected expenses. That's what savings are for. Not building wealth, building stability. But once that safety net is in place, every extra dollar has a new mission. To grow, not to sit. Because every dollar you invest today becomes an employee that works for you tomorrow. And unlike you, it never sleeps, never asks for a vacation, never complains. It simply keeps working, year after year. But here's the part most people never think about. Rich people don't use money to impress others. They use money to buy freedom. Every asset you own buys back a little bit of your future. A dividend-paying stock can eventually pay part of your bills. A rental property can eventually cover your mortgage. A business can generate income while you're asleep. That's the goal. Not a bigger salary, not a nicer car. Freedom. Because the ultimate purpose of money isn't to buy luxury. It's to buy choices. The choice to spend more time with your family. The choice to walk away from a job you hate. The choice to travel, to create, to live life on your own terms. Because at the end of the day, the richest person in the room isn't the one with the biggest paycheck. It's the one with the fewest financial obligations. The one whose life is funded by assets, not hours worked. So the next time someone tells you, just save your money, remember this. Saving protects your present. Investing builds your future. You need both. But confusing one for the other could cost you decades of financial progress. The people who build real wealth aren't necessarily the smartest. They aren't always the highest earners. They're simply the people who understand that money is a tool, not a trophy. A tool that should be working even when they aren't. Because in the end, wealth isn't built by earning more. It's built by putting more of your money to work. Every dollar you earn will spend the rest of its life doing one of two things: working for you or forcing you to keep working for it. The decision has always been yours. If this video changed the way you think about money, consider subscribing. Because here, we don't chase get-rich-quick schemes. We focus on timeless principles that help ordinary people build extraordinary financial lives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.